Hello, I'm Dr. Deborah Sword. For decades, I've been a conflict specialist, and I want to share with you my research and experience in these short podcasts based on my book, Conflict Owner's Manual. I'm here with my co host and friend, Tyson Bankert.
Hi everyone, my name is Tyson. My pronouns are he, him. I'm an artist and community facilitator. We got a great question today, Deborah, and here's how it goes. It says, in my job, I have no power or big title that lets me make changes to the petty conflicts of the people I work with. The work and pay are good, but I'm thinking of quitting because I'm so tired of the drama. Any suggestions? Signed, Ben. I want to say thanks, Ben, for the great question. Um, this it's unfortunate that you are in a job that you want to stay at and work at. I've been there, but the environment is very unpleasant. First, I think I want to really mention that assumption that I've often had is this thought that this thought as well is if I have a certain position or a certain title and i.e. power, I can create the kind of conditions in which that job makes me feel better. When I have a job title that provides me power, I think I can then change things. But I think what we're going to explore a little bit is the power or job title rarely control the behavior without backlash. Except in extreme cases where the other person is dominating or really harmful and harming others, we can really only ever control ourselves. Although we prefer to change other people so that they get along with us and create a good working environment, you may want to start with that one thing you have in common is really your ability to change your own behavior.
Well, that's right, Tyson. The one thing that you have in common with your colleagues who are being dramatic and the CEO, and the only thing they can control and you can control is your own behavior. They control theirs, you control yours. So, as much as we want to change other people, they will push back.
Hmm.
So, controlling yourself might not seem like very much, but in real life, it can be a lot. Control over yourself is what gives you the power to influence those around you. We don't have to wait for someone to agree or give us permission to make a change. We don't even have to let them know we're trying to make a change. We can just do it. So while we would probably all wish that the drama actors around us would change, other people might be thinking the same thing about you or me.
Hmm. Yeah, I think about being effective, and it's really looking at starting up about what you can control for yourself, and trying to control us and impose what we think or what we want is best is usually leads to the same result, right? These same patterns that we find ourselves in. Wishful thinking, oh, if I only did this differently, then maybe it would change. Blaming other people and maybe not addressing the right responsibility. The only thing that we're really responsible for, though, back to is our behavior. It's called choices, I think, and what we choose to do. It's more like not blaming anyone, them or you. In other words, it's really skip the blame and try to solve the problem at hand, which is really how are you contributing?
The question reminds me of a time I was coaching the president of a company. I'm going to call him Ken.
Okay.
He was having a conflict with another person on the senior management team. Let's call him Bill. And Ken said to me, Bill just doesn't act like a normal human being would. I asked Ken how he'd react if he'd overheard someone else say that about a member of the senior team. Ken defended his opinion of Bill. You notice he didn't answer the question. So I asked it differently. In what ways might your opinion of Bill affect how you treat him? Ken thought about that and admitted it was possible that his attitude towards Bill could be what Bill is observing and could explain Bill's reactions that Ken was criticizing. Do you see how he set up the cycle and the pattern?
Hmm.
Ken said, I'm acting towards Bill the same way I'm complaining that he's acting towards me.
Hmm. It makes me think about how often, and I've talked a little bit about this, is that desire to be liked, but also that our opinions of others leak out of us. They likely know what we think of them, or they assume the worst, right? There's this word that you've used, which is pessimistic meta perceptions. And it means that people tend to believe that we think worse of them than we really do. So if you think bad about people, they assume you think really, really, really very bad about them. Um, and I think when that happens, they won't be nice about it.
Right. Bill probably knew Ken's opinion, even though Ken was sure he hid it. But who starts the problem isn't the point. Despite
Mm,
his title and power, Ken can't control Bill's thoughts. But Ken's opinion affects his conduct towards Bill, and Ken
right.
can control that. He set a goal of improving his relationship with Bill by treating Bill with respect. And remember, he didn't have to say to Bill, "Oh, I'm now going to show you respect," or "May I have your permission to change the dynamic?" He just started doing it. And I got an email from Ken a few days later. "I changed my attitude in today's meeting. There were no conflicts or snide remarks." And here's where he got insightful. He said, "I guess I was part of the problem." Own your conflict.
Right. So this goes back to Ben and his question. Try becoming more aware of your interactions with those that you would like to then change, right? What's the pattern that's occurring? Watch the person adapt to your changes that you have. It will take time and trust because they won't believe you at first, because of that pattern that you have fallen into. As your behavior becomes less judgmental, the situation will improve. The only person who can appropriately give you permission to fix the situation by making changes is you. It's not your boss. It's not your colleagues. It's ultimately comes down to you. Change what's within your power to change. Right? What's the scope of influence that you have? You'll notice the difference even if no one else notices it at first. So we'll be back next week. So please join us again and tell your friends that we're discussing how to do conflict better, because you never know when you might be called upon to be conflict competent.
Right. Thanks, Tyson. We all need to own our conflicts, and the Conflict Owners Manual will show you how. Thanks for listening, and we hope you'll subscribe to our podcast.